Hey guys, it is Donna Salib, IFBB Pro, and your New York champion. Let's do that again. Hey guys, it's Donna, your IFBB Pro. Oh my gosh. We can do a whole thing of bloopers, right?
That'd be great.
Okay. Hey guys, Donna Salib, IFBB Pro, and your 2022 New York Pro champion. And today we are going to do a little bit of my meal prep for the day. So hopefully you'll get an inside view on what it is that I consume on a daily basis. We are currently in prep right now for the Rising Phoenix and the Olympia. So you'll get an idea of how much food really goes into this little body. So I hope you enjoy. So typically when I wake in the morning, I'll start my coffee. I like to use the hyper-caffeinated Berserker Brew, which is a local company. It's organic. And get my day started. Usually cardio in the morning, it's fasted before I do breakfast. So going into breakfast, this is what I like to do. I choose cream of rice for my carbohydrate choice, and then egg whites. So just for video purposes, in the little cartons, because I know that they have 10 servings in it. So I usually use one of the small cartons, and then right now my carbs are about 80 grams for my first meal. So usually what I do is I put it in a bowl, stick it in the microwave because I'm all about quick and easy and making everything fast and effective for me. So I know what I need to do as far as the measurement goes because I know how many I can have. Ooh, we didn't have to open up the second box. Good. So, and usually cream of rice is really bland. So what I try to do is use like some ground cinnamon to flavor it, some stevia. I know there's tons of different companies that have flavored ingredients and stuff. So this is gingerbread cookie from the Flavor Gods. So giving that shout out, looking for some endorsements. So I like to flavor it just a little bit. And I do keep in mind the amount of carbohydrates that are into the things that I flavor it with, so it's all calculated. So this is really quick and simple. Add some water, throw it in the microwave for about 1.5 minutes, and it comes out real creamy and everything, and then I'll cook up my egg whites. So that's breakfast. So we'll set that aside. So I know that I've got two 12-ounce portions or 12-ounce servings of chicken in here. All of my proteins, I measure them raw weight before I cook them. So some people choose to do it afterwards. I just prefer before. So I'll measure these out and then we'll get grilling. I use tenderloins a lot because they're just a lot easier to handle and they're easier to measure. During prep, I don't buy frozen and I don't buy like the big family packs because most of the time when I look at the macronutrients on the back of it, it's not the same as if you buy it from like the butcher or like the tenderloins. There's a discrepancy in the fat grams. So I know what's supposed to be, so I go with that. Just because I am very adamant about making sure that my numbers are where they're supposed to be. So the grill's warming up. We'll throw these in the grill, get this cooking. And then we're gonna measure out some potatoes now. So I like to use olive oil to coat my pan. I use it very sparingly. I don't like to put extra in there because again, I'm really picky about my numbers. I like to make sure that they're on where they're supposed to be. So my carton of eggs. I already know because I've measured this so many times that there's 10 egg whites in this. So I just pour the whole thing in there. I'll do 10 egg whites for breakfast with my cream of rice, and then I'll do 10 egg whites for my very last meal of the day. So if anybody's got chickens, I'm taking donations of eggs. All right, so like I said, I like to do things really super easy. So this is a microwave potato baker. It's got little like teeth in the bottom of it, so I just puncture the potatoes before I stick them in. Makes it super, super easy. And like when I travel for shows and stuff, my two main staples is my potato baker, and I take a Ninja Foodie with me everywhere I go when I travel, if it's feasible. It's just super simple to cook with and super easy to clean, so it just makes life easier when you're prepping. So here we go with our potatoes. Yeah, sometimes I like to make it different. I'll slice them up and I'll put them in the oven just to give me something different. But I'm pretty simple. I don't eat for taste, so it really don't matter. I just need the nutrients. That's what I go after. So I'm gonna pop it in, get it going. We've got the grill going. It's all ready for us to put the protein in. So here we go. Close it. Generally about 8 minutes does it pretty good for what I'm trying to cook up. All right, so I am being told to add my food. And like I said, the Ninja Foodie Grill, this thing is a lifesaver. I love it. I can bake all of my protein within about 10 minutes and I'm done. So super simple. We're gonna spray it just a little bit and then put everything in. So each of my steaks are right around 6 ounces. And then I'll get these divvied out. Super easy to clean. Protein's all in. Off it goes. It's set for 10 minutes automatically, so there's that. Our eggs are over here, and we'll be done with these in just a few minutes. Normally, I crack all my eggs. I don't always do the cartons, but for today, I decided just to make it a little bit easier because I don't think everybody wants to sit and watch me crack 20 eggs. So yeah, it makes life easy. One thing that I do like to do with earlier part of my prep and stuff is to season just a little bit, just to give me something that's a little bit different tasting and everything. Because, like I said, I usually don't worry about flavor because the whole mindset behind this with me is you're eating for a purpose, not for the flavor. But if you get really bored, you can use like Dano's. This is probably one of my favorite seasonings to use. Number one, he's local to here, Louisville, Kentucky. But there's nothing in it that's gonna jeopardize my prep, so I really like this. But like I said, usually I'll cut out like any artificial sweeteners or anything like that, including chewing gum. I cut out everything except for my pink salt. Like I keep this in during my whole prep, but something like this I'd probably cut out about 4 weeks out. And then my gum, I cut that out. If I do a Diet Coke, I'll cut that out about 2 to 3 weeks out. So my body is very sensitive to stuff, so I've paid attention in the past and how it reacts to things. So I just make sure that we do what we're supposed to and do not do what we're not supposed to. So, and then 2 of my meals I use for my good fats some coconut oil. So you'll see me put that in some of the chicken meal later. So this is probably one of my favorites. Flax oil is good. Just trying to get my good fats in. Okay, so we went over what my breakfast was. We went over the 4 meals in between that, which was the 2 chicken and the 2 steak with the potatoes. And then my last meal is the 10 egg whites. So what I do in between right now at this part of my prep, it's not to the end, but for right now, is I will have 2 shakes in between all of those meals. And then I'll have 1 post-workout shake also. So definitely getting the calories in. You got to eat to grow. At one point in time, I was so scared to eat that, all I was doing was spinning my wheels. I wasn't getting any bigger, couldn't figure out why I wasn't placing better, things like that. So once I got out of my own way and got it in my head that it's okay to eat, it happened. So I started growing. So this is probably my absolute favorite flavor of this protein. I use Gaspari. It's the proven egg. It's egg whites. So it's sweetened with stevia. This is one of the very few proteins that I've ever found that doesn't hurt my belly. I don't know if it's because it's the egg or if it's because it's made with stevia. I've always been able to tolerate stevia. I can't do the other artificial sweeteners. So you can even bake with this. So this is the banana nut bread. They've got some really good flavors. And they have all kinds of other proteins also, whey isolate and things like that. But this is just one that I choose to use. So I have 2 of these in between my meals and then a post-workout meal or post-workout shake. And so there's where a lot of my calories come from because we've got to get them in. So now you know my secrets. Now you know all of my food. So let's check our potatoes and our steaks. All right, so we're gonna do the steak test. Take a steak knife and kind of jab them, see if they're ready. This batch is ready. I've got one more batch to make, and then we'll start putting meals together because the proteins are just about done. So now I'm gonna measure out my second batch and then get these in the microwave and we'll be good to go. Sometimes you just gotta do the math. It's all gonna come out in the end as long as your numbers are right. Got one more thing of eggs here cooking. I already took the other ones out. So now we're just preparing this set and we'll be good to go. I like to cook everything fresh each day, but sometimes, like if I have to travel or something like that, then I have to make my meals up in advance, of course. Now that I'm doing some fasting cardio in the mornings, sometimes it's nice for me to just go ahead and make my breakfast up and everything. That way I just have to throw it in the microwave for a few minutes and warm it up. That way, as soon as I jump off the stair mill, then I can start gobbling it up. So makes life easier. So, all right, so I heard the beep. Now it's for the test. So usually right around 10 minutes in this, everything gets cooked pretty well. I make sure that like my steaks are slit and stuff like that. That way that cooks all the way through. I like my steaks like a medium, so I don't cook them all the way through. My chicken, it has to be done, of course. So I've got my bowls laid out. I'm gonna pull the proteins out, and then I like to cut them up into little bite sizes. Just makes it a whole lot easier when I'm eating throughout the day. And then we'll wait on the others to come out. So I'll pull out my steaks first. So like I said before, I like to use sirloin when I choose a steak, but the majority of the time I use bison. And reason being is because it's a lot leaner, but I'm still getting some, some red meat. There's a guy that's local here that owns Blackfish Bison Ranch, and he's been generous enough to donate quite a bit of my bison throughout my prep. So if you ever in Louisville, it's probably an hour and 15-minute ride out to the ranch. He's out near Lexington, but really good stuff. And I'm telling you, the quality of the bison that he brings to the table is just amazing. That's one of my favorite. Now I do a whole lot of venison also. I've got a brother that hunts. I've got friends that hunt and stuff. I live in the city, so I can't hunt, but I would love to go. Being a country girl, so I just cut my protein up into bite sizes. That way, it's just easier to facilitate for eating. And then we'll pull the chicken out here in just a minute. I'll do just a little bit of seasoning, not a whole lot, just a little bit. Like I said, using this Ninja Foodie is super fast, super easy, and super easy to clean. So absolutely love it. I use this sucker every day, sometimes twice a day, and they last forever. I have one that I travel with and then one that I use at home. Same with microwaves. I have a travel microwave, and then I have, of course, my microwave here. I can cook anything. I can cook anything in this. I can cook eggs. I can cook chicken. I can cook steak. I've made cakes in it, so it's super cool to use. All right, so we got the last of the potatoes out of the microwave. We're gonna see if they're done. Then we're gonna throw those into the chicken. I'm gonna season a little bit, and then pop them in the fridge so I have them for tomorrow. But we've got to add our coconut oil. I don't do heaping mounds or anything like that. I do just a teaspoon. I put it in my chicken meals because the steak's already got fat in it. So there's that. And then for the second one, and this doesn't have any flavor or anything like that. It's not going to taste like coconuts. Sorry, guys. So there's that. So we got our coconut oil done. We got our cream of rice all flavored and everything. So usually I just put the pink Himalayan salt on my steak. I don't put seasonings or anything on my steak or my bison. It always tastes good. And the further in prep I get, the more I measure things. So yeah, I have a little teaspoon somewhere. So I usually use an eighth of a teaspoon in each meal. So just so you know. And then the Danos, I just sprinkle just enough to give it a speckle. You don't need a whole lot of anything, but just enough to tell that you've got a little something on there. So Danos, thank you. Thank you for making prep extremely fun. So prep doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be a miserable experience like I hear so many people talk about. You know, it's took me a whole 20 minutes maybe to do my meals. So hopefully you got something out of this. If anything, some tips on how to make your meal prep go by a lot faster. You don't have to have a microwave container to bake your potatoes in. I just choose to use it. You can just stick them in the microwave after you've pierced them with a fork or a knife and cook them. You can bake them in the oven, same with your chicken and your steak, but if you want something that's going to be easy, get you a Ninja Foodie Grill. It's a good investment. Save you a lot of time. Time is something that is probably your most valuable asset. So these are the quick and easy ways that I found to do meal prep, and makes it easy. So hopefully you learned something today, and hopefully you follow along on the YouTube channel. And we will be coming at you every week with a new video. It'll be workouts, it'll be food. Got one coming up soon with my supplements, and we'll do another one with some home life in the Salib house, in the house of the New York Pro Champ. Yeah, that ought to be interesting. So stay tuned. We'll see you soon.